Hey gamers, have you ever wondered, should you go back and play Diablo 4? Every now and then, there's a new season and there's new hot DLC for only $40. While everyone is enjoying WoW Classic,
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking?
This
Look at
is
my mana.
savage, but
Give me
use
the healer,
Nova,
kill,
bro.
kill the
Come on.
mastiffs. We got this.
But for instance, go watch Nathan's POV. Oh, I'm full crashing out. Pull up the list. I'm full crashing out. I don't give a shit.
and PoE 2,
Better luck next time.
Look how toxic that is, bro. So it despawns, right? I'm chilling.
well, maybe not everyone. I went on an adventure to see if Diablo 4 DLC and new season is worth playing. Maybe even, is any season worth playing? Maybe discounting your new DLC 1 month after release is the best sign that sales are good. Well, after my fantastic thought that buying DLC right after release and not even playing it, and jumping only next season was a good idea, probably that's why this video was made, to see if it's worth coming back. So I set out my goals to play through all of the new DLC content and all of the new seasonal content, and of course, checking new character. So I chose a woman, for no particular reason, and jumped right into it. DLC starts right after we defeat Lilith, and Mephisto is on the run with a child, and we are greeted by bold people. As we all know, bold people are incarnations of evil, but there's a bad blood between them. So one of them enjoys a hot plunge and dies because he wasn't listening to Joe Rogan's advice. We do some quests, meet Rahir, and get stabbed to death by Mr. Boldman himself, and die, but not really. Then we get help from Iru, who is definitely not going to betray us in the end. After our introduction to DLC, we are starting to help Neyrel, who is carrying a literal prime evil in Soulstone and trying to contain him, like some Americans have natural ability to contain food. As we know, from every Diablo game story there is nothing wrong that can happen to people that are close to a Soulstone containing demons. Mephisto is still a dog. Helping Neyrel basically takes about half of the DLC. We kill Urivar after he does nothing in the whole story, get help from Akarat, who is speaking at me like my father used to look at me at night from the wardrobe. But maybe it was just a dream. Maybe all of this game is an unfortunate dream. We get to the end of the DLC, meet Sleeping Man with a sick villain. Neyrel gets rid of Mephisto Stone and we won the game. But not really. Eru betrays us at the last moment. And we fight Mephisto's piece. Not even real Mephisto. He still got the stone and it is at the end of the DLC. That's it. That's the whole DLC. I think there's Tyrael teased in some text at the end of the game, but I'm too lazy to find it. Wait, what do you mean I got that wrong? Ah, I know, there we go. It took me 6 hours to beat, and it probably would take me about 4.5 to 5 hours if my Damas wouldn't get stuck on 2 bosses because of playing only DLC and not yet touching the seasonal content. You may be wondering, why I just spoiled the whole story? Well, because there is no reason to play any of it. And I'm just trying to save your time. Gameplay. As we know, Blizzard is hinting that child labor is a fantastic thing, just as Frostpunk devs made clear that forced child labor is the best thing to boost the economy. So I sprinted to acquire my own child, who would be helping me in the rest of the game. They call it mercenaries, but I didn't really recruit him. He's just by my side all the time, having random gut problems. There is 3 more mercenaries, but we don't really need to talk about them. They don't bring that much to the game, providing only buffs and some damage. They don't even talk or comment anything. So, there's child labor in D4, but how's the new class? New class feels like a cross between monk and shaman from D2. You have attacks that teleport you to your enemy, some AoE skill like all other classes, and ult that is a big summon of a monkey, bird, centipede or a tiger. My build focused all on centipede skills and poisoning enemies. If you are wondering, did Blizzard expand on magnificent trees from launch of D4? I'm going to surprise you! Not really! My memory is weak, but I remembered when I played D4 beta and saw the skill tree, I thought to myself, I hope this is not the full tree. Well, 1 year later and it's pretty much the same. You see, by the combined forces of Bobby Kotick and stolen breast milk, D4 devs made extremely brave decisions to not give players any choice. If you have at least 14 brain cells and can read, you probably can make a build that can kill anything and don't really need to use meta builds. Have you noticed that incredible engaging mage gameplay? Yes, it's peak class design, standing and hitting. I then proceeded to do all of purple quests, and main quest after finishing DLC, which explain all of the game mechanics in endgame. There's some new dungeons, for example, Artificer Obelisks that you need to play to acquire new difficulties. The big one, Party Dungeon, that you can start if you are not at least in a party with one other person. This is the only time that I felt Blizzard employees could do something creative in terms of mechanics, because 3 different party dungeons have pretty interesting boss fight mechanics, which include traversing through different realities, splitting your party, or parrying orbs to deal damage to bosses. Unfortunately, D4 players don't really want to know mechanics, and you can die a lot of times just by trying to pass 2 gates which mechanics are summed up to: walk on pedestal, release the boss, and kill him. I met one Diablo player that was one-shotting everything around me, as I did the opposite. But when I acknowledged that we are playing on Torment 2, he was surprised, as probably he was drugged on ketamine playing from Colombia. For my luck, we completed the dungeon, and he bade me farewell with a warm smile. If you want to play this type of dungeons, there's no matchmaking options, so you either wait a long time by creating a party, or look for one, or don't play at all. While I was writing this, I discovered that you don't really need a party to start a party dungeon, so I don't really know. But this doesn't really become a challenge, because there are 2 states of playing D4. You either one-shot everything, or you're undergeared and get one-shot by everything. Especially if you're dumbass like me and play through all DLC and not touch any seasonal content, and fight Abulan and Priestess of Hatred for 1 hour. Which were cool fights, but I don't think they would prove any challenge if I had normal gear and didn't make this more challenging for myself than it should be. There's also a Horde mode, which is another good attempt at making something interesting, but ultimately it fails, because waves don't prove any challenge, and at the end of the Horde mode, you're fighting the same boring bosses every time. I only wish that Diablo developers could reuse their boss fights with a slight modification and scaling, so that when I play with random people, we can have some sense of fun and accomplishment, and not brain-dead farming items that may or may not be better. There are also boss layers, where you can revisit your favorite bosses from story, but not all of them, and some original bosses, and not at all challenging. This is example how boss layers work, where Mr. I am useless proves to be not so useless as he one-shots the boss. Another problem with bosses is that if you are in the middle of 10 different skills, the visibility is pretty poor, as you can get one-shot by a skill that you'll never see. It's easier to notice a child in the middle of the road. I'm presenting you a challenge to point at what killed me in this clip. Oh, and they didn't even add any new world bosses in the DLC. And it still is a brain-dead objective where you come in and go away and do nothing because you respawn in the middle of the fight, and it's not challenging at all. You probably noticed that I didn't touch on seasonal content. Well, last but not least can be summed up to: there is additional area that works just like Helltide but doesn't have bosses. You have additional seasonal passive skills, but they don't provide anything to gameplay except more damage and you get some rewards. And I think that's the end of seasonal content. And I know advertisement doesn't mean that season is going to be bad, but it was advertised like this.
What? Witchcraft? What the hells are you talking about, soldier?
That's all. I heard some opinions that D4 is a game for casuals who only have 1 or 2 hours a day to play games. But then I think of price of this DLC and another one that was nominated for a Game of the Year for the same price. You can buy Path of Exile right now, which is unfinished and probably have more fun than playing Diablo 4 at any state of the game. They don't expand on skills. Sure, you have aspects that are annoying to use. They should just put them in the skill tree so it doesn't look so incredibly sad as it looked in beta. They don't have any end goal to play, no endgame bosses because they don't prove any challenge. If you're geared normally and want to fight Lilith, you're going to be pretty disappointed because you're going to experience a fight where you get one-shot by flying orbs that you don't see. There's no reason to try to reach Torment 4 because there is nothing waiting for you there, so casuals can enjoy any other game more, for the same price or lower. There's also amazing battle pass that doesn't make any sense for a RPG that costs $70 at launch, where you drop stuff that you want to be excited for. Maybe it won't just provide new statistics, but it could be a new cool transmog. And there's also in-game shop, which provide flashy cosmetics that you won't see for free in-game. Every time you'll see a player that's basically shining, he definitely has some shop cosmetic. And additionally, there were skins from different Blizzard universes that can break the immersion. But I guess, when Bobby left the company, his last executive order was to make every game Fortnite-like that crossovers with every Blizzard franchise. While writing this, the news dropped that next expansion is delayed, because they probably realized that doing them yearly with this disappointing amount of content and uninteresting story won't give them any profits. When Vessel of Hatred came out, I didn't even notice people talk about it. Twitter and YouTube algorithms love to show clips from games, and Diablo definitely wasn't on the timeline. I don't think I'll be back to D4 anymore. It's probably the least engaging ARPG I've ever played, learning nothing from its past mistakes and from new popular similar games. If they really want to bring back people to the game, let designers cook something that could be interesting in any way. It doesn't even need to be endgame. Remember Butcher randomly spawning in dungeons? He could really destroy you. Why Mephisto, while being Embrace of Dog, doesn't have pack of hounds that roams around the map and hunts players? In recent campfire chat, they announced they'll be bringing back Belial in next season. And I'm telling you right now, it's probably going to be big disappointment. If they'll pull Diablo from the sleeve, the devil himself, in some expansion in the future, they should make him as terrifying as this muscle robot on the Twitter timeline. You see, there is Diablo, he's twitching on the hooks. Go kill him. Try it. So that's really it. Go play any other game, support your favorite developer. It's not good. Nothing really happens here. My final score is D4, still bad, out of Cosby Sweet. See you probably in a better game.